Hello everyone. In this video I'm going over some of the circuitry that I've been working on for my helmet. Here's a little preview of kind of what I've been working on, and I will also go over some of the components that I am using for this lighting system. Here we have the Adafruit 3.7 volt battery charger for lipos. It just charges with a USB-C cable, and the output is 3.7 volts. And for the Arduino Nano that I will be operating, I need 5 volts. So this piece here will convert the 3.7 volts and step it up to a 5 volt output. And this is a little board that will attach to the Arduino Nano, and as you can see here, I also put the 90-degree pins on and put a piece of wire across all the pins because that will be the shared ground for the LEDs. These resistors will be for the LEDs. They are placed where they will go to the PWM pins on the Arduino Nano. For my project, I put them on pins 11, 10, 5, and 3. And here you can see I just soldered the resistors directly onto the pins. And this is kind of where I will place it. It's not definite yet. I still need to see exactly how every other component will sit, but so far so good. Just a general idea of placement. And this resistor here, I installed it to pin 6, and that will be my input signal. And the reason why I put that resistor on the bottom is that it will be a pull down resistor, and it'll be a low signal when there is no voltage to the pin, and it'll read high voltage it'll read high whenever there is voltage on it. And here is another little board that I made for all the accessories, like some of the internal LEDs and the fan that I will place inside the helmet. And these are some of the things I've put together just to kind of test it out. And this is the main power switch. I bought it off of Amazon for about $12, and it is waterproof. Some people in the reviews were saying that once they soldered some wires on it, the latch mechanism failed, and I just wanted to test it here with the smaller LEDs, and the latch still worked. So once I was able to confirm it was all working, I finished up some of the other additional wiring for the light within the switch and the light for the momentary switch, just making sure everything does turn on and off as I am wanting it to do. And here is the code for the Arduino Nano. This was my first time writing code for an Arduino Nano. Or any Arduino in general, so it may not look that great, but it did work for what I'm working on, so I'm just gonna leave it how it is. Initially, whenever I wrote the code, I had set the max value for the lights at 255, and whenever I did that, the LED would fade out and back in. So what I had to do was change the value to slightly lower to about 252, just so it could cycle through without going out altogether at the highest values. But as long as I press the momentary switch, the LEDs that will go on the front of the helmet does fade from a pretty good brightness to a lower setting, and vice versa. And here's just the loose setup of what it will look like on my head. these small LEDs will go inside the helmet, so I can kind of see within the helmet as I put it on. And here are the LEDs in the front, and the momentary switch will sit on the side of my head, and I can adjust the brightness as necessary. So I was able to put the battery pack onto the head cast with just small little metal rods. This is a little bit closer to the final setup that I will have as I mold the clay. This is where I will place majority of the components. And just again testing out the lights, making sure they fade in and out. And this piece here is a small fan that I have running on the 3.7 volts and not the 5 volts from the converter. Just because at 5 volts it's a little bit too loud and I don't want to hear it once I do have the helmet on. And the 3.7 seems a little bit quieter, and it still produces a little breeze that can be felt. So I think it'll be pretty good to cool off my face once I put everything together. And last but not least, here is a Bluetooth wireless headset that you can get for motorcycle helmets that I will be putting inside so I can listen to music or take calls. And there's just a little microphone piece. I bought this off of Amazon for about $40, and I think it'll work out. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.